This is the last one. Oh, I've had so much fun doing this, you guys. Taco Man. Taco Man. I'm gonna miss all your old snaps. Taco Man always, well, not always, but the last few replies I got from Taco Man have just been, oh, snap. And I love it because I actually say, oh, snap in real life. So Taco Man says, hi, what are your favorite trait and aspirations? P.S. Oh, snap. My favorite aspirations. I do end up playing a lot of the same aspirations, but not because I like them, it's because they're easy. So, okay. When I am creating a sim for the purposes of a story, one that I am actually going to tell and not necessarily a save I'm going to play, I pick aspirations because I have to. Because, you know, I'm going to be using those sims for acting purposes. So a lot of times I just randomly select traits. You know, I just kind of close my eyes and click. For the sims that I do play, I pick their aspirations based on the kind of character I need for them to be, you know? Because a lot of times I like to play according to their whims. That's kind of it's not a new thing for me, but a lot of my newer stories, probably all the stories that came out after Crazy Brady's boot camp. So pretty much all the stories. Well, there's only one, the Wonder Kingdom, and this new story that I'm writing. I don't think about traits that I like. I think about traits. Traits, aspirations, whatever. I think about what I need for the character to be. So I don't have a favorite aspiration. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I swear I'm like part Italian because I keep talking with my hands and touching my laptop. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the aspirations because I pick them according to what I want them to accomplish in the story. Same thing for traits. However, if I had to pick a favorite trait, I think I would say the romantic trait, purely for entertainment purposes. I mean, there are so many things that can happen in your game simply because a sim is romantic. I mean, I've gotten the most bizarre not bizarre whims, because all whims, I mean, they're all the same. But as far as like the order in which they come up, and example, I have a save that I just play. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is because, you know, y'all going to judge me. But the sim is romantic. And he had a lot of girlfriends. And I was going to let him pick who he wanted to be with if he wanted to be with any of them. So He had a townie girlfriend. Well, girlfriend as in, a romantic interest. He didn't actually like declare a relationship with these women. Um, so he was in love with a townie. He was in love with one of those Calientes and Nancy Landgraf. He got around, and he spent the most time with the Caliente chick, and I thought he was going to want to end up being with her. But to my surprise, he got the whim to ask Townie chick to marry. I'm like, whoa. So I get the most entertainment pleasure out of the romantic trait. Aspirations. The aspirations don't work like they should. I mean, the reward traits that come out of all that hard work, they're just not worth it most of the time. So because of that, there are some aspirations I just ignore, like the family ones now. I don't even pay attention to them. I don't understand how they're supposed to work. I mean, that vicariously live through your kid thing, I've never seen it actually work. And then the supportive spouse one, support them through what? I just don't understand how those traits are supposed to work. And I'm like, I did all this hard work on all these dates and having all these kids and, for these silly traits. So I don't have an answer for the aspiration one. I can't believe that's all the questions. I'm so sad. Okay. I said I was going to tell you this later, but no one actually asked, so now I need to volunteer. Why is Bianca my favorite sim? Bianca is the first sim that I ever gave like real, real deep emotions and a flaw or two, three. If you recall, that was around the time when that was around the time when I switched from first person to third person. And so switching to third person allowed me to explore other characters other than the heir. And in case you're wondering why I did that, so the family was getting a little large in Generation 5. I mean, it's been 5 generations. I mean, we're halfway through the darn thing. So, of course, there's going to be Pruetts everywhere. Sorry. These chairs aren't very comfortable after sitting in them for 2 hours. So, yeah, the family was spreading across the map. And it really hit me when I had to move Jasmine out of the house. I was like, wait, if I move her out, I can never, as in when I was trying to obey Pinstar's rules, I can never tell her story ever again. Unless she comes by the house, which she did almost every day. But, I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know what she was going through. I didn't know how her children were and how Joshua was. I didn't know her anymore after she left the house. And I didn't like that. Now, true, we didn't know Jasmine because we heard from her. We knew Jasmine because of her father. We saw Jasmine through Aiden's eyes, which was really, really, really fun. Aiden was my favorite heir. I know I said Jonathan earlier, but Aiden, I'll explain later. Um, well, Jonathan is the cutest. I didn't say he was my favorite. Anyway, yeah, so, Jasmine actually didn't have very many appearances when she was young. Okay, she had one chapter where Aiden was just gushing over how cute she was and how he was Daddy's little princess and everything. And then, she was mentioned throughout a few chapters, but she was never the main focus. But through Aiden's interesting way of seeing the world, we fell in love with her. And then as she got older, she got even more zany. I think we fell in love with Jasmine again when she was old, you know. Um, but I felt something when she left the house, and I was like, man, I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I, you know. So that was one part of it. Another part of it was the divorce situation was brewing. Now, the divorce happened once, but we were having to lead up to the divorce, right? There was a point in the story in which I didn't feel any of the characters were reliable enough to actually tell us what was going on. Because I briefly considered having someone else narrate, but then I was like, well, no, if she does it, then so let me just take you through my thought process. So Jaden, clearly, he was emotional. I mean, he was afraid and upset and was hoping things would work out. So, not that he was being selfish, but he had real problems that he had to focus on. So we weren't going to know too much about anyone else in the house, right? Brandon, he was a teenager by then. He didn't know Amira yet. Brandon didn't have an opinion on the situation until, he had an opinion. Bianca had her own problems. So she wasn't going to be reliable enough to, tell us what's going on without tainting it with her own issues. Brittany, I wasn't as in love with her as I was anyone else. But, she probably would have had her own spin on it, even though she probably would have been the most honest, actually. Malia, she just wouldn't do it. Although I think it would have been fun to write as her. Oh man. Anyway, and then there's Jared and Asia. They're trying to stay out of it. So I was like, no one can tell this story the way it really, 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 really needs to be told. And I felt like I was backed up in a corner. I was like, I can't continue writing this story like this without it being kind of soft and lame and just not as deep. I mean, it's a divorce. It's not a situation you play with. It's not something where you're like, oh yeah, we're getting divorced. Okay, well next week, it's raw. It hurts. So I kind of wanted to have feelings like that in the story, and I didn't feel like it really get that without changing. So that's why I changed. So that I was able to accomplish what I wanted by doing that. But I was also able to accomplish the other things I wanted to do, such as keep up with other people who weren't necessarily being caught up with before. So, that's how I left the house. Well, I broke that rule in the Pen Star thing, and I went to Jasmine's house, and, I had a few chapters there, and, and I focused on Bianca a lot. So I don't know why I fell in love with her, but I think I just felt so sorry for her as I was writing her, like I was experiencing a lot of empathy, as her personality was being unfolded before my eyes. And she was the middle child. And they say middle kids are crazy, and it's true. And if you're the middle child, don't deny it. You know it too. But so it's not that Bianca had that whole middle child syndrome going on, which maybe she did, but she had her parents at war on one side, her older sister who didn't really pay much attention to her because she was in her own world. And then, of course, she had her younger brother who was the heir. So, of course, more attention is going to go toward him, even though they didn't pay attention to Brandon. Brandon was the cause of all the, well, not the cause, but, Brandon being born was the catalyst for, the war. So there was a lot going on around Bianca. And I don't know. I mean, I thought it would be appropriate for her to really, really, really feel that thing. And then when she gained the mean trait, I was like, how serendipitous is this? It was perfect. Because, I used the random thing, on the simslegacychallenge.com, you have the random trait generator. I use that. And sometimes it works so much in my favor. And I'm like, thank you. But yeah, I just really felt for her. And I just wanted to reach in my computer and give her a hug all the time. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All this is happening to you. So yeah, she's my favorite. And then of course, when Giancarlo came along, I to be honest, I didn't know how important Giancarlo was going to be until he was. I just needed a guy to come into her life that made her feel safe, opened her up, and she would get married and go along her merry way. Honestly, I did not intend for her to live in the house forever. I was going to have her and her and her spouse, whoever that was going to be, I was going to have them live there for a little while, have some kids, and get out. But Giancarlo just became, I mean, y'all know him, He just blew up and he was just so awesome. And he was really, really right for her. And, he was, who said that? Dreams and Pixels. She always described Giancarlo as being Bianca's rock. And it's so true, she really became a different person because of him. And, not a completely different person because she still had things, from her previous issues that stayed with her forever. But, she changed for the better because of him. And, that made me love her even more, And she was just so beautiful too. So yeah, that's why she's my favorite sim. What did I say I was supposed to tell you something else. I'm going to have to play it back. And then, yeah, what was it? I don't recall. Maybe I'll start recording this and watch it and answer later. Yeah. Well, this is it, folks. This is the end of the road. End of the Pruett legacy. What a journey, like for real. Gosh. It's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. I just don't know what else to say. Thank you all again for being such an integral part of this story. And, thank you for loving the characters like you love them or hate them. Thank you for being so emotionally involved. I know I like to read stories that I get emotionally invested in. So it's really cool to know that you guys enjoy this the way I enjoy a lot of your stories. So this is it. I don't want to say goodbye yet. Oh man. But I don't have anything else to say. So I guess I should stop stalling and say goodbye. So, not goodbye. I'm not going anywhere. The Pruitts are going somewhere, but not me. You'll see me on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays with the Wonder Kingdom and Fish. Fish is coming back, y'all. So, yes, on behalf of the Pruitts, goodbye and thank you.